Always trust a German baron who goes around in a pirate ship and flies with a whole bunch of women's knickers as a hot air balloon with the pirate ship. I always say. The Adventures of Baron Munchausen, released in 1988 and is directed by Terry Gilliam, who has also directed such films like Monty Python and the Holy Grail, Time Bandits, Brazil, The Fisher King, 12 Monkeys, and The Brothers Grimm. And this film is starring John Neville, Eric Idle, Sarah Polley, Oliver Reed, Uma Thurman, Jonathan Pryce, Valentina Cortez, and a surprise appearance from Robin Williams, who is credited in this film as Ray DiTuto. And the reason why we're talking about Baron Munchausen today is because it was a PayPal recommendation and donation from one of my subscribers and contributors on this channel, Zachariah Kennison. Thank you so much for the recommendation. You actually sent in a couple of recommendations of all swashbuckling old films that actually many of them I have never seen. I think the only one on that list that I have seen is the Christian Bale version of Treasure Island. All the other ones I have not, so I'll be getting to those at points throughout the year as soon as I can. In a small, unnamed European city, during the Age of Reason, the Turks are trying to invade, and the city's inhabitants are scrambling for something to do and for a savior to save them. Enter Baron Munchausen, who claims that the reason why the Turks are attacking the city is because of him. But to many of the city's inhabitants, he seems more like a confused old man who is wasting everyone's time. However, the Baron starts telling many tales and adventures of his past conquests, and the city begins to root for him and believe him. But is it all true? Did these things actually happen? I don't know. This was a weird-ass fucking movie. Apparently this is based on tall tales of an 18th century German nobleman, so this is just what I need. Another film about a German character that I'm confused about and I didn't really connect with me 100%, so now I'm gonna have more angry Germans on my ass. God, I just can't catch a break with Germany. One big thing that you can say about this movie, though, is that the director, Terry Gilliam, definitely has a wild imagination, which is something that you want in a director. You want them to be imaginative. You want them to have a huge creative outlet. They can figure things out and put just splendid, awesome things on screen for the audience to watch. The problem, though, with too much imagination and not focusing on plot and characters or just kind of like random stuff here and there and all over the place, it leaves the audience member, this audience member, going, what? What the hell? He's flying in a pirate ship like a hot air balloon, and the balloon itself is made up of women's knickers. Okay, that's fine. I can go along with that. Oh, the boat is going to the moon, where he's going to confront the Moon King that detaches his head whenever he wants to get away from his body, and it's played by Robin Williams, so again, it's just like all over the place. And then we go to Earth, and then we go into the middle of like a volcano city that has all these elaborate 18th century, just beautiful architecture, and we're dancing in middle of the air. Then we're going out to the ocean where we're eaten by a giant sea monster, and we start playing cards, and then we escape and then take out the Turks. Yeah, I just explained this entire movie to you. If you can make sense of it, awesome for you. For me, I just sat there going, what the fuck? Now, I have loved previous projects of Terry Gilliam. Of course, Monty Python and the Holy Grail is just one of the comedic staples in my life. I love that movie so much. And you can tell the same sensibilities are here. We have the same type of animation style in this movie periodically. And just going through his list of filmography that he directed, he has a crazy, wild imagination. I just feel that crazy imagination went a little too far in this movie, and sometimes, a lot of the time, rely just solely on the spectacle and the imagination, and we lost track of what the plot is and where we're going here. The main message, though, the main grasp, the main theme of this movie, though, is a battle between the Age of Reason and the Age of Imagination. We have a situation here, we have characters here that are just solely based in the quote-unquote real world and using logic and science behind everything, whereas characters like Baron Munchausen is solely living in the fantasy world. And there's a battle between these two forces throughout the entire film. Now, in the end, at least my interpretation of it, none of these characters, these two opposing forces, really compromised or bent to the other's will or melded with each other at all. Now, these two characters still believe 100% in fantasy or 100% in real-life realism. So hopefully hopefully the audience understands that, hey, both things have their good things about themselves, and if I'm to go on with my life, and if I'm walking out of the theater watching this movie, I should probably have a combination of those two. Have an imagination, absolutely, but also realize that there is a real world and there's logic and science and shit. I say leaving the theater as if this is playing now. I mean, it came out in 1988, 1989, actually, here in the States. Not like anyone went to go see this movie, because apparently the box office was only $8 million on a budget of like $46 million. Yeah, this thing tanked. And honestly, I can see why. This is a strange movie to market and to promote to widespread audiences. Hey, come see the Adventures of Baron Munchausen. Okay. Why? Well, you know, people with big noses. And Robin Williams' head is flying on screen. And it's weird. Yeah, thanks, no thanks. Currently, I don't know where I fall on this movie. At points, I wanted to shut this thing off right away because I was just so confused and not interested and not buying into any of these characters at all. I wasn't connecting with anyone. Just because their characteristics, like I said, are on the extremes of the spectrum. Solely in realism, and solely in logic, and solely in fantasy. There's no in-between characters that I myself can connect to. It is sometimes nice to escape from real-world problems and conflicts and escape at the movies and live in a fantasy world for a couple of hours. I mean, hell, with the events happening in the world today, it's a perfect time for people to have that escape, or at least allow themselves to escape at certain points, only for a couple of hours, to recharge your batteries and to just satisfy your own mental health before you go back out into the real world and the real world problems. But to have such an extreme opposing force film that doesn't resolve itself fully, at least in my opinion, I'm just like, I could kind of care less about this movie, honestly. I appreciate the imagination, and I appreciate the attempt of the message behind it. I got my own message from it, which I don't know if that was the message that the director was going for. I would say this is a nice movie to watch, maybe as parents putting this on for a little kid in like the 90s, I guess. I don't know. I don't see kids nowadays sitting in front of the TV screen watching this movie, to be honest. I'm sorry. I'm gonna give The Adventures of Baron Munchausen 2 out of 5 Blu-rays. Alright everyone, now comes my favorite part of my videos where I pick which movie I'm going to be watching next. The next one is another PayPal recommendation and donation from another one of my subscribers and contributors on this channel, Edvard Michelson. You recommended the movie Devour, like that Shinedown song. Devour, devour, suffocate. I don't know lyrics, but it is starring a baby Jensen Ackles, so I get to do my Sam Winchester supernatural voice again. No idea what this movie is, but we'll check it out next time. So guys, if you've seen The Adventures of Baron Munchausen, what did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across because of this video, then comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell. See you on the next time I release my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time with my review with Devour. So in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.